Hi everyone, I'm Kishara and welcome back to my channel, Kishara Creates. I am so excited to have you guys here with me today. If this is your first time, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. So I am an artist and instructor, and today we are going to do another fun and exciting painting tutorial. So recently I've been doing a lot of abstract art, but I kind of wanted to mix it up and do something a little bit different today. It's extremely hot today, so I don't know. I was inspired to do an ice cream cone, so that's what we're going to do. So let me go ahead and grab my paint and show you guys what lovely colors we're going to be working with today. So of course, always going to use the primary color. So we got the blue, green, red, yellow, black and white, of course. But I want this painting to be really bright. So I'm going to use some neon colors as well. So I've got some neon green, some really bright, says neon purple, but it's just a bright purple, and a neon pink. So we're gonna get started. So I want this color, I want this painting to be really fun and vivid. So I'm thinking of doing the background in this green tone, using this beautiful lime green. But I don't like to just use the colors right out of the bottle. I never do that. That's not what we're gonna do. So we are going to take some of this lime green and add some of our primary green to it. And I'm going to add a little bit of blue to it too. Ooh, I like that. All right, so I like to mix my background directly onto the canvas because I like to have different color saturation. So I'm just going to kind of roughly throw some of this shade down. And don't forget your sides of your canvas also. And right now I'm just throwing the paint on because we're going to keep blending and adding on to this. So I'm not being overly particular about anything. I'm just putting the paint on the canvas. That's all I'm doing. Whatever you do to the majority of your canvas, you want to make sure you give that same love and energy to your sides and the bottom and the top of your canvas as well, because you want your picture to look uniform. All right, so I'm just going to kind of blend this out a little bit, just a little bit. And I'm just doing up and down strokes, but you're more than welcome to do left and right as well. So let's get some yellow also. So I'm not even cleaning off my brush because this is still going to blend in together. So I'm going to just grab some yellow and just a little bit of white. Not a lot, but just a little bit. There we go. And the same thing. I'm just going to add some strokes of this yellow to the canvas as well. Kind of here and there and everywhere. But like I mentioned before, make sure that you give your sides of your canvas some love with this lovely yellow as well. And thank you guys for returning. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you guys for all your love and support. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I feel so blessed. You guys have been so awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right, so make sure, if you're using an easel like mine, make sure that you get up close to the top so you don't have just a bare area of your canvas right there either. The same thing down here at the bottom. And let me step on this side so I can put some of this lovely yellow on the side of this canvas, on this side as well. And on the top. There we go. All right. So I don't want this, I don't want to use a whole lot of water to saturate the back of this, the background, or my brush for the background, because I want to be able to just go ahead and sketch right over top of it. So I'm just going to use this really large flat brush. I didn't even tell you what brush I'm using. Sorry. So I'm just using a large 2-inch flat brush. You really could use any brush. I just like this brush. As you can see, you can paint really fast with it. So that's what we're doing. All right. And I'm just doing that same thing, up and down strokes, until I make sure that the entire canvas is nicely saturated. You don't want to be able to see any white or any bare areas of the canvas poking through. You want to make sure your canvas is nicely saturated with this lovely green that we're using. All right, I'm liking this. And make sure that your strokes are consistent. So if you're doing up and down strokes, make sure you keep your strokes up and down. If you're doing left and right, make sure you continue to keep your strokes left to right. And you see how I'm doing long strokes all the way? That way my background's gonna be smooth. If you do little strokes like this, you'll get texture. And right now I just want it nice and smooth, so I don't want any texture. So there we go. I think I might add just a touch of white to some of the areas just to lighten it up a little bit. See how much fun it is just to throw the paint on there? Yep, I like that. There we go. Blending, blending, blending. We're just blending, blending. That's all we're doing. Painting is all about layers, which is why it was important for me when I started this channel to make sure that I did all my paintings in real time so you guys could really understand the entire process. I've been the resident artist at a paint and sip art studio for 4 years. And the number one thing that most people get insecure about is that they think that you're supposed to put the first color down and that if it's not perfect, that it's not right. That's not how painting works. Painting takes time. You have to do layers. Sorry, I'm like all turned this way. My apologies. But yes, painting, you have to paint in layers. Painting is about layers, okay? So you can't just put one coat down and think that it's gonna be perfect and that's it. You have to continue to add different layers. So it was important for me to do this in real time so I could show everyone that. All right, I didn't put any brown on my palette, but I'm going to do that so we can make our shade for our lovely ice cream cone. All right, so see, I just grabbed a little teeny tiny bit of brown and I'm gonna pull it over to the side. I'm gonna grab some of this yellow and some white. Let's mix that up and see what we get. There we go, I like that shade. All right, so this tutorial, I don't want it to be overly complicated or too realistic or anything like that. I just want us to play around and have fun on this Saturday. So that is what we're going to do. So I'm just grabbing some water on my brush and thinning out the paint some. And as you notice, I twist into the paint like this. That way my paint is smoothly saturated on my brush. That way it's going to paint smoothly onto the canvas. So I'm not measuring anything out. I'm not using a ruler or a yardstick or anything. I am just going to start with an oval in the middle of the canvas. And then I'm going to make a triangle connected to that to signify our cone. And I don't want this painting to take too long, so I'm not going to make it too large. We're going to add some, more fun detail around the ice cream cone. But as for right now, this is the size that I'm going with. All right, lovely. I'm going to do a little V shape right here and then draw my line. Lovely, there we go. We have a waffle cone, or the silhouette of a waffle cone anyway. Actually, I'm going to use a little bit of that darker brown. I still have that color that I have on there. and add some of that right here. All right, well, I hope you guys are feeling good this lovely, lovely Saturday. I'm feeling great. As you can tell, I have so much energy. All right, lovely. So now what we're gonna do is I want to do the ice cream. I want to do a scoop in blue, and then I want to do a scoop in pink as well. So I'm going to use a light pink, a light blue. We're going to do the blue first, and then we'll do the pink. So light blue takes blue paint and white paint. So of course, the more white you add to it, the lighter the blue is going to be. I think I'm going to lighten that up some more. So see, I'm just adding white to some blue paint until I get the color that I want. Now, white paint is pretty thick. So usually when you use white paint, you're going to need to dilute it a good bit. Especially if you want nice smooth lines, because it could be kind of chunky. So make sure you take the time to thin out your paint. All right, perfect. So all we're going to do is right in here is draw a circle or an oval or however you want to call it. There we go. And I'm actually going to fill this bad boy in. Let's go ahead and fill this one in right in here. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle or anything like that, because we're going to have another ice cream cone over top of this. And right now we're just adding a base coat. We're going to go back and do some more shades to these ice cream scoops as well, to add more dimension and definition and to make it look more realistic as well. So right now we've got a triangle with a V and a circle. I know you guys can do that. I believe in you all. All right, so now let's make our light pink. So, let me make sure I got my brush nice and clean first. Lovely, there we go. All right, so I'm going to use this lovely vivid neon pink. I love bright colors, so. And some white paint. Typically when you use neon colors, they're very opaque, so you typically want to use a little bit of white or a little bit of one of the primary colors too, just to give it more color saturation. All right, so let's mix this up. Ooh, pretty. I'm gonna add a little bit of red to this too. All right, yep, I like that. And same thing, I'm gonna get a little bit of water since we put a little bit of white in there, and thin this paint out some. See how I take the water and kind of mix it around the paint and then twist my brush around into it like this. All right, so we are just going to do another circle on top of this one. Now we're going to go into this blue a little bit because we want it to sit on top like ice cream. So, and like I said, these are going to have different layers of color or whatever, so if your blue and your pink mix a little bit, don't worry about it, because we're going to go back with some darker tones of pink as well. Lovely. So right now, we've got our triangle with a V and 2 circles signifying our ice cream scoops. And of course we have to have a cherry. So obviously you're going to need red, but I don't want to just use the primary red. So I'm actually going to use a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, as you can see, a little bit of the primary green to kind of darken up that red. Perfect. And right here, I'm going to come in a little bit on that ice cream scoop and then just make a circle, a red circle. All right, now we're going to get more detailed and have a little bit more fun than this, but this is what we got so far. All right, I'm going to get a larger round brush now. If I can find it, found it. Perfect. So this brown, I'm going to add a little bit more white and some more yellow to it to brighten it up some or lighten it up some. There we go. And I'm just going to fill in our lovely triangle for our ice cream cone with this lighter tone. And this is still pretty much a base coat, so we're not being overly picky. Like I said, painting takes layers. Don't try to rush it, just go with the flow, just let it happen. All right. Beautiful. Cleaning this off just a little bit, this brush off just a little bit. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit before I go back and do another coat of that brown. If your paint is too wet and you keep trying to do coats over top of it, you're just going to be rubbing around the paint that you already have on. It's just going to take it up. It's not going to help you at all in any kind of way. Really, paint? You want to be complicated? There we go. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to make a brighter blue than that blue that we had, but I still want it pretty light, so I'm just going to add some more blue to this light blue that we already created, just to make a richer version of it. Now, keep in mind that paint does dry, it dries darker, so keep that in mind when you're playing around with your colors. And I always tell everyone to think of it as a recipe. You don't have to use the same exact colors that I use. Of course, you're more than welcome to, but I like to think of it as a recipe where you can kind of just take it as a suggestion. It's more about the technique. All right, enough talking. So I'm just kind of going around, or not kind of, I'm going around the sides or the perimeter of this blue circle for our ice cream scoop, and right underneath as well. And after I went around that whole area with the blue, or with that darker shade of blue, I'm gonna push it out towards the middle. There we go. And I'm going to leave that alone because I want this to dry a little bit before I add some more to it. All right. Bear with me while I clean my brush off. All right, so the same thing with this pink shade. I'm going to add some red into it and some more of this neon pink and get a brighter or a deeper tone of this pink shade. Add some more neon pink to that. I think I'm going to add a little bit of white. There we go. All right, and we're going to do the same thing with this. So all the way around the ice cream cone, we're going to add this lovely shade of this darker pink tone and go right underneath the little cherry as well. And push this paint out. And you know what? Just so we can speed up the process, I try not to all the time use the blow dryer to go ahead and dry off the canvas, but I'm going to do that today because I don't want to have to just be talking, making y'all wait. So I'm going to grab my blow dryer just quickly. Bear with me so we can dry this lovely painting off. All right. I got my handy dandy blow dryer, so I'm ready to go. This should only take a second, I promise. Stick with me, I promise. Only take a second. done. See, I told you that wouldn't take too long. That is exactly why I paint with acrylic paint. I love acrylic paint because it does not take forever and a day for it to dry. It just speeds up the process. Oil paint takes a pretty long time to dry. So I like working with acrylic for that reason. All right, so I'm going to go back in with this light brown that we used and do another coat over top of here. There we go. Step on this side for a second. So I'm just doing another coat of this lovely light blue, excuse me, why did I say blue? Of this lovely light brown to our cone. Perfect. And I'm using the same brush. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more brown to this light shade that we had to darken it up some. And around the edge of this cone, we're going to do another coat, another coat of this darker tone as well. So we're going over the areas that we did with that darker brown with this brown. And we're going to do this the same way that we did our ice cream scoops. So I'm going to push the paint out towards the middle on both sides. And we're going to come back and do more layers, so don't worry about it. It's not supposed to be 100% perfect yet. We're not done. All right. Lovely. So I'm going to go around this guy again with that darker blue shade. First, we're going to do that same kind of blending towards the middle, and then we're going to add some of that lighter blue and blend into the darker colors that we used. So I'm going to go around the same way that we did earlier. Going to go around the whole little circle of this ice cream scoop with this brighter or darker blue tone, and then we're going to push that color towards the middle. There we go. Then I'm not even going to clean my brush off because we're just blending right back into it. So I'm going to use that light blue that we had. I'm going to just throw a little bit in the middle and then kind of move my brush left and right, back and forth to blend it out into that darker shade that we just made. Voila. All right, clean this brush off. We're going to do the same thing with the pink. So I think I need to make a little bit more. Let me get some red, some of this neon pink, a little bit of white. Mix it up, mix it up. There we go. Get some more water for that to thin that out. Ooh la la, I'm liking that. All right, perfect. So the same thing that we did with the blue ice cream scoop, we're going to go around. And again, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate you guys. So, yes, of course, all of my paintings are available for purchase. And I am currently taking or allowing people to schedule virtual painting parties with me as well. So if you would like to do a virtual paint party with me, then let me know. You can just email me. Or if you would like to purchase any of my artwork, of course, you can email me about that as well. I am actually doing commission pieces again. I had stopped doing commissions for a while because I had way too many requests and I was extremely busy. But I've lightened my load a little bit. So right now, yes, I am taking commissions again. All right. So the same thing, how we blended in the middle, just like we did with the blue. Not even going to clean my brush off. Gonna go right back in with that light pink that we had. Gonna throw it in the middle just like we did with the blue. And do our strokes like this to blend it out. Look how pretty this is looking. I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Lovely. All right, and we can't forget about our cherry, so we're going to do another coat of that too. So remember, I just used a little bit of the primary red and added a little teeny tiny bit of green to it. The more green you have, the darker this red will be. If you add too much green to this red, it will turn brown, and you can lighten it up by adding more red to it. You can add red and a little bit of yellow to it, but when you're darkening a color, just add a little by little. It's a lot easier to make the color darker. It's a little bit harder to lighten it up. All right. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. So what I'm going to do this time, just like we did up here, I'm going to do the perimeter of our cone with the darker brown again. Then I'm going to blend in that lighter shade. So we're going to do the same exact technique that we did with our ice cream cones, okay? All right, so I'm just using brown. I need to mix up some more of this color. So my base brown, some white, some yellow. Sorry, I got quiet. I got focused mixing my colors. There we go. Now, I'm getting some water. Gonna thin this lovely paint out. Twisting, twisting, twisting in my brush so I can thin out this paint. All right, you guys, bear with me. There we go. All right. So, I'm going to outline this lovely waffle cone again for our lovely ice cream cone. I'm just going over the perimeter again. Just outlining it again. That's all I'm doing. And then we'll go back and push this shade towards the middle the same way we did our ice cream scoops, okay? So I'm gonna push this brown going towards the middle. On this side too. Lovely. This one also. And then gonna just take some more white and some more yellow to make our lighter shade for our cone. There we go. And we're gonna do that same thing that we did with our ice cream scoops and kind of blend it in towards those darker shades. There we go. See how that starts to blend? Look at how beautiful that is. All right. And this is, of course, a beginner's painting tutorial. So, like I said, no, this piece is not going to be overly complicated or anything like that. But I think you guys will be surprised about how pretty it's going to look at the end. All right. this little spot right there is bothering me. I accidentally touched it with some water, so I'm just going to mix up some more of that green that we had. There we go. Voila, piece of cake, piece of pie, no problem. Now, while I'm letting this dry a little bit, we're going to do some fun details around this lovely ice cream cone. So I'm just going to make it fun and simple, so nothing too complicated. I think we're going to do some little swirls and triangles and little shapes like that. So we are going to use this lovely neon or vivid purple, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to take a little bit of that to the side. I'm going to deepen it by adding just a little bit of blue to it and some white. Let's mix it up and see what we get. Ooh, pretty. Let's add some more of this purple. There we go. Some more purple. And see, I just keep adding more until I'm sufficed with that shade. There we go. I like that. Like I said, keep in mind that the paint does dry darker than when it's wet. So, see, I added water to my brush. I'm thinning it out. And we are going to do some little swirls just randomly on our canvas. We're going to just put them here and there. I'm not going to worry if they're all going the same way, if they're all the same size or anything like that. All right, let me thin this out some more. There we go. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So as you can see, I'm just adding little swirls to it. Adding little swirls. Just adding swirls of this lovely purple shade. I really like how this purple looks with this green. All right. And see, I'm not worried about them being perfect or anything. Right now, we're just laying out the silhouette, just throwing them on there. And see, some are closer together, some are farther apart. There's no science to how you lay these little swirls out. You just want to make sure that your negative space has some excitement going on. And I think I'm going to go back over these purple again and make it a little bit thicker. Then we'll go back here and then I think I'm just going to do some lighter or some different shades, some smaller little swirls around these purple ones. And see, just wherever I feel like it needs some love, I'm just adding one of these beautiful swirls to it. All right, I think I want to add one right here. We'll do one right here as well. Do one in the corner. And I'm thinking right here. There we go. And if yours goes off to the side, make sure you give the sides some love too. You want it to look uniform. Perfect. All right, so get some more water on my brush so I can thin this purple out again because it's kind of thick. So I'm just adding water to the purple, thinning it out, twisting it around. I hope you guys are enjoying this day. I'm having a great day. I feel great, if you can't already tell. All good vibes over here. And as I say that, I'm dropping paint all over me. All right, so I just wanted to thin this out some so we could go back over these lovely little purple swirls with another coat to give some more saturation to this purple tone. Make it stand out some more. There we go. I'm just literally going back over the purple that we just used. Don't worry about if it's perfect. We're just giving another coat to this purple so it has more saturation to it. So the color is more vivid. That's all that we're doing. All right. Just going over the purple. That's all I'm doing. Sorry, you guys. By now, if you guys are returning, then you should know that I make up songs as I go. I don't know. All right. So I'm just going around the purple. That's all I'm doing. Doing another coat of the purple. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Just another coat of the purple. That's all I'm doing. That's all we're doing right now. Another coat of the purple. All of these little purple swirls. Give them all some more love with this purple tone. So the colors are more vivid, it stands out more. That is exactly why we paint in layers. All right. There we go. Just going over the purple. Get some more water. You never realize how many swirls or how many of the first amount of anything you put down until you have to go back over top of them. I'm just saying. All right. There we go. Just doing another coat of the purple for all of these lovely swirly swirls that we've got going on. Just another coat, that's it. There we go. I'm gonna step on this side. Just going over the purple, nothing's changed, still doing the same thing. That's all I'm doing. I'm just going over the purple, going over these purple swirls, giving them another coat so that the color is more vivid, more saturated. So it's brighter, stands out more. Same thing for this little swirl. Give it some more love, another coat of this purple. Same thing with this one. We're just going all over all of these little swirly swirls. That's what we're doing. Going over all the swirls. All right, only a few more, then we can move back to our lovely ice cream cone. All right. Just two more, you guys. Bear with me. Just going over these little swirls. Just giving a thicker layer of this purple so it stands out some more. All I think I want to add some orange to this. So while we let this dry a little bit, so that you guys aren't forced to listen to me blow dry again, I'm gonna add another element to the background. I'm still gonna use this same brush though, so I don't want them too large, but I'm gonna make the orange with this bright pink tone. I'm gonna add some red to it. Of course, it takes yellow to make an orange. Let's add some white to that too. Kind of almost more of a coral shade. More red. We get some more yellow paint. I always run out of yellow and white paint. All right. Ooh, that's pretty. A little bit more yellow. And see, I'm just keep adding yellow to it until I get the shade that I like, and I like that. Remember, keep in mind that this is going to dry darker, okay? So, and some of the random areas, I'm just gonna add some little orange circles, just kind of filling in some of the negative space. All right, and I'm just randomly placing them. I'm not being particular. Just wherever I feel like it needs something different, I'm just gonna add some orange to certain spots. See, I'm not really thinking it out or anything. I'm just randomly placing these lovely little orange circles to this beautiful painting. See? Look, you guys. All you guys can do this. We did a triangle, a V, 3 circles, and some swirls. And some more circles. That's all it took. People think that painting and drawing is so complicated, but if you break it down into simple shapes, you will be surprised at what all you can actually do. Painting and drawing is all a skill that anyone can learn. People think that you have to just be naturally born with the gift of being an artist, but it is a skill that you can acquire. So, as long as you really want to learn, you can. As long as you really take an interest in it and practice, just like with anything else, you can achieve it. All right. And I want to add one right here. And I think that's enough orange. We're going to leave that alone. All right, so we're still going to let this dry some. I probably will end up using the blow dryer again, but as for right now, I am going to just mix up a yellow. So I'm just going to take some yellow over to the side. I want this a little bit brighter, so I'm going to add just a teeny tiny bit of red to it. Not too much red because I don't want it orange, but I want it kind of bright. And I'm going to thin this out some because we're going to do some splatters with this yellow. So see, I'm making it kind of runny. I'm adding a good amount of water to it. I think that's good enough. Put this huge palette down. I've got paint everywhere, as usual. It's not a surprise. All right, so let's see here. I'm just gonna use a flat brush. So I just got some of the yellow, and I'm going to hold my brush like this and do some splatters. There we go. Kind of be mindful to not get it in your ice cream cone. But if you do, don't worry about it. Acrylic paint is very forgiving. You can just let it dry a little bit and go right back over top of it. There we go, giving some texture. How much fun is it to splatter paint around? And look at my hands. How much fun is that? Just making little splatters, playing around, having fun. Haven't done this in a while, so hey. Just gonna keep going until I feel like I got enough of this yellow. All right, just a little bit more. Want some right in here. There we go. And a little bit more right in here. And see, I'm literally just flicking the brush. That's all I'm doing. Perfect, that's it. Wipe my hands off and we'll go back to these ice cream cones. So this time in the cone, we're going to do the light brown first, and then we'll go back around with the darker brown and blend into it that same way. And we're going to use some black and white highlights to pull this all together. So like I said, I want this to be a fairly simple beginner's painting tutorial, so I didn't want to make it too complex, too complicated, anything like that. All right, so like I mentioned, let me get some more white paint. And then this out some more, and add some more yellow to that. There we go. And I'm literally just going to kind of throw this shade in there because like I mentioned, we're going to put that dark brown on the sides and blend that into it as well. So I'm not worried too much about it being smooth or anything. And see, this is why I mentioned, look at how many layers we did of the cone so far. See, that's why I like doing my tutorials in real time. So you can see really how much time it takes. So you don't get frustrated by just putting down the first coat and it doesn't automatically look the way that you want it to. All right, clean that off a little bit. Go right back in with this brown. I get some more water. Dilute this a little bit. See, this paint dries fast. Look how a lot of it's already dry on my paint palette. And we haven't been painting that long. All right. And I'm just quickly putting it on the sides. Outlining the areas that I had in this dark brown, sorry. All right. Push this shade out. Pull this brown out towards the middle of this lighter brown and kind of blend it together. You see how I'm squiggling it together in the middle? Just like that. Same thing up here. Pull that brown out and then blend it together. All right. I'm going to switch back to my larger flat brush, or excuse me, round brush. And we are going to get some more of that lovely blue that we had. The darker blue. Oh, excuse me, no. We're going to start with the lighter blue. So if you need to mix some more, remember we just used blue and white. And we're just going to throw some of that light blue in the center. Then we're going to get some of that darker blue. And we're going to go around the sides, underneath, and pull it towards the middle, and then wiggle it, blending it together in the center. Look at there. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the pink. Well, I need more neon pink. Bear with me while I get more paint. Come on, paint, don't be complicated. All right, luckily I have another bottle of paint. Y'all should see how much paint I have. It's kind of ridiculous, but hey, I'm a painter. Makes sense for me to have paint. I should just get a big bottle of this neon pink because I use it a lot. All right, so we're gonna make some more of this light pink that we had. We used pink, we used red, and we used white. Perfect. Look at there. Gorgeous. So we're just going to throw it in the middle and brighten it up some more. There we go. Yep, even brighter. I just added some more of that neon pink to there. Lovely. I love that. Look at there. All right. So I'm going to add some red to that to brighten that up some, or excuse me, to deepen that, darken it up some. All right, add some more water to this. Like I said, whenever you add any white to anything, it gets pretty thick. So we're going to go around the sides of this pink the same way we did the blue. And right underneath that cherry too. All right, and we're going to pull. I don't even know why I cleaned my brush off. We're going to pull some of that pink going towards the middle. Pull the darker pink going towards the middle. And blend it together. There we go. Look how pretty. All right, let's give some love to this cherry up here. I think I kind of neglected it just a little bit. So we're gonna, let me just switch to my smaller brush. There we go. So I'm just gonna get some of the primary red. I'm gonna add some yellow to it just to brighten it up some. And I'm gonna put this bright red in the center of our cherry. And then we're going to make another dark red by adding some red or some green to our red. The more green you add, the darker it will be. All right. And the same thing, kind of blend it together on the sides. Voila. All right, so we are ready to do our little accents of our black and white, and then we will be done, believe it or not. You will be surprised what black and white will do to finish off or complete a painting. But I think I want to add another coat to the orange, because we did only do one coat of that. Make sure these stand out and they're nice and bright. I'm not being picky. I'm just adding another coat to these little circles. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm glad I did the splatters after we did our little swirls and everything, because I like how it looks over top of the purple. That looks good. See what I mean about layers, layers, layers? Everything got at least 2 coats. If I wanted to be real fancy, I could go back over and do some more yellow splatters, but we're not going to do that today. It's Saturday. I'm not trying to take up your whole day. I'm going to try to keep my tutorials, since they are beginner tutorials, between an hour and a half. I have done more detailed paintings, usually when I do like still lives with vases and things like that, but we're not doing that today. All right, so we're going to do some highlights with white. So, like I mentioned prior, white paint is really thick, so you want to get it nice and diluted. You want it more like an ink consistency. You want it nice and fluid. And I switched to a smaller round brush, but if you don't have a smaller brush, just use what you got. And I'm throwing paint everywhere again. All right, there we go. I think that's good enough. So, just very randomly, I'm going to add some white highlights. And I'm just going to randomly place where I place the white areas. And then I'm going to kind of pull that out when it comes to the cone. I'm pushing that white paint out. All right, clean that a little bit since we just did that with the brown. All right. We're going to blend this out too. Same thing with the pink up here on the sides. Same thing with our little cherry too. Pull it out towards the middle. Same thing here. Same thing up here with this guy. All right. going to touch up the sides of these with the white. There we go. Lovely. All right, so I'm going to add some just random little white accents to these swirls. I'm not covering up the whole little swirl or trying to make sure they're all the same. I'm just adding accents to them. So don't try to be overly picky. Don't try to make it perfect. There's beauty in imperfection, so just go with the flow. Just flow with it. And just add in little white accents to the purple. Just add in little accents or little strokes of white to all these little purple swirls. See, very random. I'm not thinking it out. I'm just quickly doing little accents of the white. Alright. I'm just keeping it moving. See how fast I'm going? I'm not thinking it out too much. And I'm going to do little semicircles of the white on these little orange circles. I'm not putting them going in the same direction. I'm purposely making them different. I want them to be unique and have their own little personality. And after this, we're going to do some shadows with our black, and we're going to leave it alone. Now, I decided not to do our little squares or diamond shapes on our cone because, like I said, I wanted this to be fairly quick and not too complicated, and I didn't want to have to go in between each one of the little triangles and do our blending and our shadowing and our shading. Now, the more advanced we get on this channel, we'll do more detail, but like I said, I didn't want to keep you guys too long on this lovely Saturday. Because me as an artist, I can just keep going and painting forever, but I'm trying to keep my tutorials around an hour and a half. And I upload painting tutorials every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And every Tuesday, our paintings are going to feature a different affirmation. So I'm all about positive energy and positive thinking and drawing positivity into your life. So if you guys have any suggestions for any affirmations or positive phrases or sayings that you would like to be featured for a tutorial, please let me know. And just give me comments as well. If you have any other things that you, or any other techniques or any other paintings that you are interested in learning, then comment that as well. And you guys interact with me. Comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. The more you guys like my videos, the more people will get to see them. So show me some love, you guys, please. All right, so now I'm doing the black. I'm doing the same thing I did with the white. I'm diluting it with a good amount of water. I'm going to take my time and go ahead and do it. That way I don't have to keep stopping, especially since this is the final step that we're going to do. I don't want my black lines too thick, so I'm going to make sure that I dilute this paint a good amount because I want my lines nice and thin. All right, you see how thin that is? It's not to the point to where it's dripping, but it's diluted a good amount. All right, so this lovely arch right here, I'm going to add some black. Same thing right in here too. Going to add some black. Now, I'm not going to outline anything all the way in black. See, I already need more water. There we go. But I am going to make sure it has definition by using the black. But I don't want to just outline the entire cone or the entire of any area with just the black paint. You see, I'm purposely skipping areas. Isn't that amazing just what the white and black did to this painting? Look at that. All right, so we're gonna add some black underneath here as well on the sides. And see, I'm being kind of random with where I add the black too, just like I did with the white. So don't think about it too much. Put my little divot, my little kind of C shape in there for the middle of my cherry. I'm going to come around the cherry with some black accents as well. All right, and we're going to add some black to all of these little elements too. And then I'm going to let you guys go enjoy the rest of your Saturday. But you guys, engage with me. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you love this painting or any of my other paintings, then make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of my tutorials. Like I mentioned, I do upload tutorials every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And Tuesday is dedicated to positive energy and affirmations and all of that good stuff. So share with me your affirmations that you would like to paint, or any positive sayings or quotes or anything like that. Even numbers, because numbers have meaning and all of that too. So whatever is resonating with you guys or is giving you guys some inspiration and you would like to see, let me know. So see, I'm just adding little black accents to these purple little swirls. I'm not covering up the white. I'm just randomly placing areas of the black. See, isn't it amazing what white and black will do to an image? Look at there. I'm just adding shadows of black wherever I feel like I want some contrast. And it's amazing how the darkness of the black makes the brightness of the rest of the colors more vivid. You need the dark shades for the light to stand out and vice versa. So for all the little orange circles, instead of going over them with, instead of doing another little accent of the little semicircles, I'm just going to do a small circle of the black, just kind of randomly in each one of these, all in different spots, none of them the same. See, I'm just randomly making little circles of the black. Some of them I'm putting in the center, some of them I'm putting on the side, some of them I'm putting where I did the white semicircle. Really, I'm just randomly throwing down a black circle in the middle of these orange circles. That's all I'm doing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had so much fun. I hope you guys had fun too. Now, Tuesday, because we are going to be doing an affirmation, typically when I do affirmations and things of like that, I do more of an abstract painting so that we can have our focus on our word. So we will be doing some more abstract painting techniques on Tuesday with our affirmation. All right, that's it. I'm putting my paintbrush down, putting my paint palette down, and I believe this is it. I love it. I hope you guys had so much fun with me. I had fun with you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. I appreciate you guys. If you would like to support my channel, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, please donate if you would like to. All that information is linked below. All of your donations go to keeping this lovely channel alive so that I can continue to come back every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday and paint with you all. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I will see you guys next time. Enjoy your weekend. Bye. Have a great day.